Hello everyone, I'm Shomini Parashar and I'm Assistant Professor in the Department of Biotechnology at IMS Engineering College, Ghaziabad, India. The area of my research is mainly concerned with screening of plant extract for antimicrobial properties and isolation of bacteria from soil for agrolytic activities. It's my pleasure to present my work on Microbacterium barkeri, species Stella 4, which is characterized as a novel agar-degrading bacterium isolated from soil that was enriched with laboratory agar. I'm thankful to SkyTech Central team for giving me an opportunity to present my work as a conference speaker. As the present study is based on agar-degrading bacteria, let me first talk about agar and agroses, which are the two components generally used to solidify growth media. These are used in microbiology as well as molecular biology lab. In microbiology for culturing microorganisms as a solidifying agent, whereas in molecular biology they are used, agarose is used for gel electrophoresis. Agar is generally extracted from seaweeds, red seaweeds that belong to Rhodophyceae family, and mainly Gelidium and Gracilaria species are used for agar extraction. Agar is composed of agarose and agropactin. 70% agarose and 30% agropactin is present. Agarose being high molecular weight compound, they are low sulfate content, that is below 0.15%. Whereas agropactin, they are low molecular weight compound, 20,000 Dalton is the molecular weight, and they have much higher sulfate content, that is 5 to 8%. So agrolytic bacteria are the one which depend on agar as a substrate of as a substrate, and agar act as a carbon source for them. They do not require any other carbon source. So this property of agar degradation, makes them different because agar is used only as a source of carbon and energy. These bacteria are divided into two basic groups. Group 1, which softens the agar, forming depressions around the colonies, whereas group 2, agrolytic bacteria, they form extensive liquefaction of the agar. So there is liquid on the surface of the agar. The products which are obtained by enzymatic hydrolysis of agar, they belong to two categories, agrooligosaccharides and neo-agrooligosaccharides. When alpha agarase act on agar, they give rise to agrobio series with L-galactose at the reducing end, and they are called agrooligosaccharides. When beta agarases act on agar, they give rise to new agrobio series with D-galactose at the reducing end. This can be easily seen here in this picture. Here, agarose was acted upon by alpha agarase. It is giving rise to this series of L-galactose at the reducing end. Here, when beta agarase acted upon by on agarose, give rise to this series neo-agrobios with D-galactose at the reducing end. Further, there are several other agarases, different kinds of agarases, which act on agrobios um, that give rise to neoagrotetroses, neoagrobios, and then neoagrobios hydrolase. These are the group of enzymes that give rise to 3,6-N-hydro L-galactose and D-galactose. So these simplified sugar moieties, they have moisturizing effect, they have skin whitening effect, they have anti-inflammatory effect, and for that they are used very much commercially. The structure of agarose is shown here. They are alternating, units of beta 1,3 linked D-galactose and alpha 1,4 linked 3,6-N-hydro L-galactose. So they are D-galactose and L-galactose alternating units. The agrolytic products which are formed by the action of agrases, they have potential application. So basically, agros uh, can be broken down with the help of chemical methods also. But as compared to chemical method, enzymatic methods are considered to be more remarkable because they are more tender reactions, they are controllable, they are simple experimental requirements, and they are very excellent efficiency. They have low energy cost and they are not creating environmental pollution as compared to the chemical method. They are and they create environmental pollutions. So agar hydrolytic products has potential application and they act as uh, you know they act as scavenging oxidative damage which is caused by reactive oxygen species. So they are anti uh, oxidants. New agro-oligosaccharides have been reported to inhibit the growth of bacteria. They slow down degradation of starch and used as low calorie additive to improve the food quality. So that's why they are used in food industry also, because they improve the digestion, and also they are low calorie. They are used in for generally the to reduce obesity. New agro oligosaccharides are used in food industry. Na2, that is new agrobios. They have moisturizing and skin whitening effect on melanoma cells. So they are used in cosmetic industry also, as they have macrophage stimulating activity. So they are used in pharmaceutical industry, immunopotentiating activity. Agar oligosaccharides are potential antioxidants. So they have scavenging superoxide and iron radical and inhibit lipid peroxidation. So they are very good antioxidants. They are used in creams, etc. The oligosaccharides with sulfate group or with higher molecular masses show stronger antioxidative activity than that without the sulfate group or with other smaller molecular masses. So these are the list of several reported agar degrading bacteria isolated from marine environment: Altiromonas species, Bacillus cereus, Cytophaga, Pseudoalteromonas, uh, Acinetobacter species, Saccharomyces, Vibrio, and Zubelia. So these are several species which are isolated from marine environment. There are many more other species which are extracted from marine environment, but very few species are there which have that has been isolated from non-marine environment, especially soil. And these are a few: Bacillus, Altiromonas, Penibacillus, Stereobacter, Streptomyces, Actinobacter, Vibrio. These are several species. Objective of the present study was to isolate agrolytic bacteria from soil, especially because soil is considered as a large reservoir of microorganisms. Also, to understand what are the enzymes which are, present in such kind of bacteria, to which class they belong, and to identify the isolated bacteria and the enzyme hydrolytic products. The source of isolation was, as I told you, was soil, but we enriched the soil with laboratory agar. So we were having the laboratory waste agar in the lab. We used to dump that in a pot that was containing soil. So that means the soil was enriched regularly with the laboratory waste agar. The media that was used for culturing such microorganisms were mineral salt agar media. It consists of agar as a source of carbon and energy, whereas other components of the media were salts like NaCl, CaCl2, uh, dipotassium hydrogen phosphate, etc. Here in this serial dilution is serial dilution method was used. Tenfold serial dilution method was used to isolate the bacterium, and antifungal nystatin was used so as to stop the growth of any fungal cells in the Petri plate. Uh, Three replica plating was done and it was incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 24 hours. Colonies showing depression in the agar plates were selected to obtain the pure culture. So basically, here this media, mineral salt agar media, favored the growth of those bacteria that required that required agar as a source of carbon and energy. So only those microorganisms, only those bacteria could grow on the plate that can use agar as a source of carbon and energy. So morphological characteristics of these bacteria were studied. Uh, Colony morphology was studied. Staining, simple staining, gram staining, capsular staining was done, and enzyme activity was detected by qualitative assay. So Lugol iodine solution has the property to stain the agar polysaccharide to dark brown color. But in this case, if it does not, stain the agar dark brown, it means that the agar has been already degraded. That is why it's not able to degrade. It's not able to, stain the agar to dark brown color. So this property of agar was used as a qualitative test to check whether the bacteria is degrading agar or not. The following step were taking for visualizing the agarase activity. Fresh grown culture was taken. Plates were flooded with freshly prepared glucose iodine solution, and then it was used for different color, observed for different color pattern. So the portion of the plate containing non-degraded polysaccharide agar was stained dark brown, while the portion of the agar degraded by bacteria was slightly stained, so it was not dark brown. So this indicated the presence of agarase enzyme that might be degrading the polysaccharide of agar into oligosaccharide. So where biochemical characterization of the isolate was done, various biochemical tests were performed like catalase production test, indole production, methyl red, citrate utilization, arabinase utilization, glucose, and several other tests were conducted. Enzyme activity was measured using DNSA method, and here keeping D-galactose as standard, the wavelength that was taken for spectrophotometer was 540 nanometer. So for enzyme activity, partial purification of the agarase enzyme was done, and that enzyme sample was used for running the SDS page, a native page, and activity staining was also performed. A partial purification of the agarase enzyme was done according to Lakshmi Kant et al. In the year 2006. MSA broth was supplemented with 0.3% weight by volume agar um, to isolate culture was inoculated into it, and the isolated culture was inoculated into it. So the flask having 50 ml of culture media was inoculated with 1 ml of culture in its log phase, and the flasks were incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 24 hours on a rotary shaker at 170 revolutions per minute. So after 24 hours of incubation, the cultures were centrifuged at 10,000 revolution per minute for 10 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade. These pellets were discarded and supernatant was used for assaying the enzymatic activity. Other tests were conducted. Apart from this, optimization of the culture condition for the isolated bacteria was done. The optimal culture conditions were tested, different temperature, pH, and agar concentration were observed, and the effect of these culture conditions was seen on the production of agarase enzyme. Different temperature variations that were taken was 30 degree, 35, 37, 40, and 45 degrees centigrade. And agarase activity was taken at different temperatures, whereas pH variations taken was 5, 7, 9, and 11. And again, agarase activity was taken at different pH. Here, different agar concentration were also taken, ranging from 0.5, 0.1%, 1.5%, and 2%. And again, enzymatic activity was reported. After this, molecular weight of the partially purified enzyme was taken by SDS page. So for that, 12% of SDS polyacrylamide gel was prepared, and it was done according to Lemily, 1970. Native page was run similar to SDS page, except that SDS were not added in this case. And all the reactions were performed in cold conditions. For protein band detection, the gel was taken out and was stained with Fumase staining solution. It was then destained. The gel was destained to visualize the protein band. And native page gel was then overlaid onto the plate containing 1% agarose gel in 20 millimolar tris HCl buffer having 7 pH. The incubation was done for 30 minutes at 40 degrees centigrade, and gel was then flooded with iodine solution to test the activity. Uh, and then enzyme hydrolytic products were also checked. TLC was performed. The standard that were used were neoagrohexose, neoagrotetrosis, neoagrobiosis. They were taken as standard. And each sugar was dissolved in 50 microliter of absolute ethanol. And various steps were performed that are usually done in TLC. That is lysate preparation, TLC plate preparation, TLC chamber preparation, etc. Then the 16S rDNA sequencing of the isolated strain was performed using sequencing, cycle sequencing kit. So for that, DNA was extracted and it was amplified using PCR, and then PCR product was amplified, purified, and then sequencing was done by regular method. Phylogenetic analysis of the sequence. So once we got the sequence of the isolated bacterial strain, phylogenetic analysis of the sequence was done, and uh, using BLAST, basic local alignment search tool, and again with another tool called Mega6. So phylogenetic tree was constructed using Mega6. So let us see the results which we got. Agar degrading bacteria, which was isolated. So this spot shows that the soil was here. This spot consists of soil that was mixed with laboratory agar, that was waste laboratory agar basically. And these are the plates which show these are after serial dilution we got replica plates. So 3 replica plates of that particular Stella uh, 4 culture. So as far as so when we this is a mixed culture, and when we purify this culture, you can see that what we've got a kind of clear zone here is seen, which is evident from this slide. Apart from the clear zone, which we are able to clearly see, we got the colonies were round in shape. They were entire margin, flat elevation, smooth texture. They were off-white in color with marked zone of clearance. So here there is a marked zone of clearance which can be easily seen over here. This slide clearly showed the mixed culture of Sela 4. Here we can see there are small tiny colonies, plus there are some big colonies showing depression here in this on this agar plate. And this slide shows this petri plate shows the pure culture. So you can see that there are depression around the colonies on the agar surface. For qualitative detection, as I said, that iodine, Lugol's iodine was taken. So when this iodine was poured on the plate, we can see that instead of staining dark brown in color, it became translucent. The entire plate became translucent after adding iodine solution, which shows that the polysaccharide agar has been degraded into oligosaccharides. The isolate SELA4 was found to be gram positive. Phylogenetic and biochemical properties were studied. So, rod shaped, capsular negative, aerobic, non motile. So, this slide shows the microscopic view of this particular strain, which is showing that it is rod shaped and it is gram negative. And this were the plates were MSA plates. So these are the various results. We can see simple staining, rod shaped bacteria. Gram staining shows it is gram positive. Capsular staining shows that it is capsular negative. Iodine test shows that it hydrolyzes agar by secreting exoenzymes, so produced degraded the agar into oligosaccharide. Methyl red test was conducted and the culture brought turned red, which shows that it metabolizes glucose to pyruvic acid. So in citrate test, media turned green, which shows that citrate was not utilized. In indole test, no cherry red ring was formed, which shows that tryptophanase was absent. Catalase, in case of catalase test, no bubbles were produced, which shows that catalase enzyme was absent. In case of arabinose test, a phenol red arabinose broth changed the color from red to yellow, which shows that arabinose was utilized. In case of glucose test, phenol red glucose broth changed to yellow color from red, which shows that glucose was utilized. Similarly, inositol test, phenol red inositol broth changed the color from red to yellow, which shows that inositol was utilized. And similar to this, in case of sucrose test, the color changed from red to yellow, and which shows that sucrose was utilized. And fructose test, no color change in phenol red fructose broth, which shows that no utilization of fructose was there. In urea hydrolysis test, no change in the color of Christensen's urea agar, which shows that no hydrolysis of urea was there. In gelatin hydrolysis, there was moderate liquefaction of gelatin slant after 4 days, which shows that gelatin was hydrolyzed. So that was the biochemical properties of the isolated strain. When we saw the effect of different agar temperature and pH concentration, we found that with changing, first see the agar concentration. So there were different agar concentration on this side. So we can see that with 0.05% agar concentration, this was the activity. When the agar concentration was increased, the activity also increased. So the highest activity we can get is we can see was when the agar concentration was 1.5%, and this when the agar concentration was further increased, there was reduction in the activity, which shows that the all the substrate, all the channels were might have been occupied, and so there is no effect of further increase in the concentration of the substrate. With the again with the if you talk about the temperature concentration, when the temperature was increased from 30 to 37 degrees centigrade, there was increase in the activity of the enzyme. But with increase in further temperature like 40 degree, you can see that there is drastic decrease in the activity of the enzyme. It may be due to degradation of the enzyme, the activity has reduced. In case of pH concentration, we can see that the highest activity was shown when the pH concentration was 5. And then with further increasing concentration, the activity reduced. So this shows that it is slightly acidic. Now, SDS page was run, and we can see here in this slide, in this result, bands. We can see 4 bands. 4 bands were produced. In lane 1, we see that there is a standard protein marker, and lane 2 shows the result of SDS gel. There are 4 bands can be seen. The positions of these markers are indicated on the left here. Now, this shows these 4 bands shows the bands of the protein. Now here native page was run, and again we got 4 bands. Uh, Out of the four bands in lane 2, when the gel was stained with iodine to test the activity, and the gel was put in the um, small amount of agar concentration, and then it was stained with iodine solution to test the activity, incubated for 30 minutes. We found that this clear zone was observed. So band 2 showed a clear zone that correspond to the enzymatic activity with Lugol's iodine solution. Thus, a single band showing agarose activity was detected, and the molecular weight was estimated to be 55.6, which is corresponding to this one molecular marker in lane 1. So this shows that only one band showed the activity. So enzymatic hydrolysis. So once we confirm that there is a presence of activity, actually, then we wanted to find out the hydrolytic product by TLC, and several standards were taken, like RF value of the sample corresponds to the RF value of the standard. So here we can see that the RF value of neoagrohexose corresponds to the standard neoagrohexose. So this is shown by a dark spot over here. This shows that neoagrohexose is the enzyme hydrolytic product, and this product was formed after 120 minutes. So this was detected in agarose hydrolase after 120 minutes of incubation. So this result suggests that agarase purified from the strain CELA4 belong to beta agarase, which specifically cleaves at beta 1,4 linkages found in the agarose. Other agarose hydrolyzed product, other agro oligosaccharides were also allowed to run, but none showed the result. So only neoagrohexose uh, showed the black spot corresponding to the standard. Molecular characterization of CELA4 was done. So this was the result. We got the sequence, which was 1,466 base pairs long. We obtained the sequence, and this sequence was blasted. So after doing the blast, we got several hits. Out of those hits, we selected the hits that were uh, showing identity or similarity more than 95%. So we have chosen different strains of Microbacterium genera. So Microbacterium burkeri, oryza, and various other strains were taken. 10 strains of Microbacterium was taken just to test whether this strain corresponds to which Microbacterium strain. So for that we detected the phylogenetic tree, that is blast tree, and the result of blast tree showed that Microbacterium species strain CELA4 was found to be similar to Microbacterium barkeri strain DSM 20145. So this was the result of blast tree. We use another tool which is called Mega6 tool, and the Mega6 tool also showed that Microbacterium species strain CELA4 that was found similar to Mycobacterium burkeri strain M3 and burkeri strain DSM 20145. And here we have got the bootstrap value of 84, which further confirms that they are closely related. Phylogenetic analysis of CELA4. Here you can see that because they were very much closely related, because the newly isolated strain was very closely related to these two, this shows that they share a common ancestor, and so we concluded that CELA4 was a member of genus Microbacterium, species Barkeri, and belonged to the class Actinobacteria. So, among the existing agar degrading bacteria till now, None has been reported to belong to genus Microbacterium. Now, so we submitted this sequence 16S rDNA sequence uh, in GenBank database of NCBI, and we got the accession number MG203882.1. So this is the entry, GenBank entry picture. The Microbacterium burkeri species Sela 4 was also submitted to MTCC Chandigarh with accession number MTCC 12916. The conclusion of the present study is that Stella 4 showed optimum activity at 37 degrees Celsius, pH 5, and with 1.5% agar concentration. It is the first report on an agrolytic bacterium that produces the enzyme beta agarase, and it was isolated from soil enriched with laboratory agar. The highest enzyme activity uh, was shown to be 2.04 units per ml with 1.5% agar in the culture media. The optimal temperature was 37 degrees centigrade and the optimum pH was found to be 5. Beta agarase from Mycobacterium burkeri Sela 4 hydrolyzed agar to produce new agrohexols uh, only without the mixture of any other new agrooligosaccharide. So this feature is very important because it proved to be a better skin moisturizer than Neo Agro Bios and Neo Agro Tetrosis. Because of its high molecular weight, it is more viscous. So as compared to other oligosaccharide, its viscosity is more. So it can act as a very good moisturizer for skin. So uses and application of the present study, we have seen that Lee et al. Reported that Neo Agro oligosaccharide, Neo Agro hexoases produced by the hydrolysis of beta agarase DAG-A either directly or indirectly activated the natural killer cells, which help in enhancing the anti-tumor immunity. So it is important in pharmaceutical industry also. It could be one of the most potential candidate source for new agroexes for cosmetic and pharmaceutical industrial application. The role of Mycobacterium burkeri is also evident in bioremediation as it is known to carry a variety of enzyme for catalysis of a variety of substrate present in nature. Thus, its role as biocontrol agent once again affirms by the presence of agarase enzyme in SELA4 through the present study. The future prospect is that we can prepare a consortium of agar degrading bacteria so that uh, it could be more effective as agar degrading activity. We can see the effect of agrolytic activity on agar polysaccharides because solid waste are obtained from life science laboratories and that could be tested for degradation of agar with the help of bacterial consortium. It can act as a bioremediating activity also. These are several references that I have taken.